Hi everyone, it's me again, Stephanie Thompson, back with Read Your Library. I'm excited today because I invested in a fancy tripod and remote shutter for my phone, so I don't have to sit quite as close to you anymore, and I can actually, get a little bit of distance and look like I know a little bit more what I'm doing with this whole deal. Thanks for coming back. So I have a question for you. Are you a good speller? Do you enjoy spelling? People seem really sharply divided about spelling. Some people are good at it, they enjoy it. Some people are good at it but not particularly interested, and some people are just plain bad at it, and I get that. I happen to be pretty good at spelling, and I think it's because I'm a reader, but I never grew up in an area where they had spelling bees. So the book I'm going to talk about today was really interesting to me because it really gave me some insight as to how all of that works. I really wish I had had the opportunity to do spelling bees when I was a kid because I think I would have been pretty good at them, but now I'll never know. Anyway, this week's book is Bee Season, and it was next to the book from last week, which was also about bees, but this is a different kind of bee. See what I did there? This one is not the buzz bees, this is spelling bees, and this book is about a girl who comes from a very interesting family. Her dad is a really smart intellectual type scholar. Her brother's very accomplished, as is her mother, and she always has kind of felt like the odd one out in the family, and then all of a sudden something happens. She enters a spelling bee and she wins. And things just take off from there, and it provokes huge changes within the family structure. It provokes all kinds of things that happen, good and bad, in the family. While her mother is also going through a whole transformation and crisis of her own, which is interesting and weird enough that I don't want to spoil it too much by telling you about it, but let's just say that if your desire is to learn more about things you don't know about, and you don't really know what it means to be a kleptomaniac, this is a good book for learning more about that. So I really enjoyed this book. It has a lot of interesting insights in it as to how people's minds work, I think, both in terms of how we spell, how we approach language and memory, and then, as mentioned before, what it really means to be someone who has the desire to take things that don't belong to them, and why it's an illness and not just a crime. So I read through it really quickly. I remember being fascinated by it and wanting to get to the end. It's a really interesting and well-written book about an interesting subject, and I hope you pick it up if you feel like checking out something new and different, and enjoy it as much as I did. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you next time on Read Your Library.